Hi, everyone.
Welcome to the Brandy and Billy Show.
I'm Brandy.
And I'm Billy.
And today we are going to be diving more into Charlie Kirk's assassination. We're going to walk you through Tyler Robinson's timeline, talk about his boyfriend / roommate, Lance Twigs, and then we're going to go into the theories about how there could be some potential Israeli involvement.
Yeah, so this episode is not necessarily meant for our new subscribers who found us through Barron who already know everything about the case. This is for our friends and family members. This is the reason we created this podcast, is because none of our close people around us know anything about any of this.
Yeah, so just like if you're new, you don't know anything about the Charlie Kirk assassination, this is going to be a great way to like speed up your knowledge about what's been going on. But first, we do want to shout out Baron Coleman for talking about us and our interview with Charles McClintock Wilson on his podcast. That was so awesome. We got a ton of new subscribers. So welcome everyone that came from Baron's podcast. If you don't know what we're referring to, that was our first episode. So we recommend you go back and watch that if you haven't already. So let's just start from the beginning.
And maybe you'll learn something new that you didn't already know if you do think you knew everything already.
True. Okay, so we're going to start from day one, September 10th of this year. So according to the feds, 22-year-old Tyler Robinson supposedly arrives onto UVU campus wearing a maroon shirt and tan shorts. And there are photos and videos of a guy walking around wearing this outfit.
And this is all that they gave us.
So they're supposedly Tyler Robinson walking with his tan shorts and maroon shirt, walking towards UVU campus. All right, so then at 12:23 p.m., according to the feds, Tyler Robinson shoots Charlie with a Mauser Model 98, which is a bolt-action rifle chambered in a .30-06 caliber. But he supposedly shot him off of the Losi Center rooftop at Utah Valley University. There are videos and photos of a man running across the Losi Center rooftop as well as jumping down off the rooftop. But there are theories, and a theory that I definitely agree with is that Tyler didn't shoot Charlie off of the Losi Center roof. Circling back to the gun, right? So according to many hunters and gun owners, that rifle would have created a way more graphic damage to Charlie's neck. Like, to be honest, it probably would have decapitated him. And so I thought this was weird. This next part I'm going to talk about. So Andrew Colvett, who is the executive producer of the Charlie Kirk show.
He was really close with Charlie, right?
Yeah, they were like best friends, one of Charlie's best friends. So he made a post on X saying that he spoke to the surgeon who worked on Charlie Kirk in the hospital. And they said it was a miracle that the bullet did not go through his neck because the type of gun and bullet would have taken down a moose or two. Apparently, the surgeon said, and I quote, "His bone was so healthy and the density was so impressive that he's like the man of steel. It should have just gone through and through. It likely would have killed those standing behind him too." And the coroner did find the bullet in his neck just beneath his skin. And, you know, I'm a Christian. I believe in miracles. But there's something that just doesn't sit well with me with
Well,
this.
it feels like he's preying on Christian beliefs.
Yeah, and I saw that online. Like, there was something like, oh, it's a miracle, praise Jesus. And it's like, okay, there's a difference between a miracle and like a straight up lie.
Yeah. And also, Candace is the one that brought this up, but did he talk to the surgeon? Really? You went and talked to the surgeon?
Well, also people were saying online, like, the surgeon isn't the one who would know that because Charlie was dead. So why is a surgeon working on Charlie? Like, that's why, like, the coroner said there was a bullet in his neck, but why is Andrew talking to the surgeon? Like, a lot of people online were like, that doesn't really make sense.
Right.
But bring up Candace Owens again. So Candace Owens said she spoke to a source off the record because a lot of people reach out to Candace and they're like, please don't expose my name because, I mean, we're in dangerous territory right now. A lot of people are afraid for their jobs or even like their life, right? So Candace said she spoke to a source, like I said, off the record, confirming that a bullet was in Charlie's neck, but it was not the bullet from that rifle. She said it was a completely different gun, and which is why the bullet didn't go through him all the way, because the 30-06 bullet, like I said, would have decapitated him. So it was a completely different bullet that went through his neck. And to be clear, she has not revealed what type of bullet that it was.
If she knows.
I'm assuming maybe the guy or girl, whoever told her, has more information, but she's not exposing that yet.
Okay, I also feel like this is really important information because I didn't know. I knew Candace Owens' name. I didn't even know what she looked like before the Charlie Kirk assassination. Brandy sat me down and she was like, watch these videos. And then I got really into it. I've never been involved in politics until September 10th.
I've been into politics for years, like obsessively into it.
So I'm skeptical always. And I'm like, okay, Brandy, like, why do we believe Candace Owens? And I love the way that you explained it. And I hope you explain it again the same way. Like, why should I believe that she has a source and she's not going to show who it is and we should just trust her?
Bottom line, she is really good friends with Charlie Kirk. Like, they started Turning Point together. Well, Charlie started it. Candace was like the first one to join him and go around the country. And they were like best friends. And so I don't think she has any ill intent in saying any of this. Like, what would be the point? I trust Candace. I really do. And I think a lot of people on the internet do. They're starting to see all of the lies and inconsistent stories. And I think people are like, damn, Candace, like, actually, she knows her shit. But Candace even said publicly to her show that he was not shot with the Mauser 30-06. And she said to sue her for defamation if she's lying.
And they could, right?
Yeah, they absolutely could. So I think that she must be pretty confident with that statement. So overall, you know, that there's very inconsistent facts being discussed online, that the gun and the bullet may not be the gun and the bullet that the feds are saying was used to kill Charlie Kirk. Okay, so after Tyler shoots Charlie, he supposedly jumps off of the roof and leaves a gun wrapped in a towel in the woods.
And this is the gun.
This is the gun they found in the woods. Okay. The Fed shared this photo of the gun to the public, reassembled, because apparently he disassembled it before jumping off the roof and then reassembled it. Like, why? So we have a video of this guy on Instagram.
I'm so excited for this video.
Yeah, and his Instagram name is Second Amendment. And this video, it shows where he disassembles the rifle and shows how long it would take to disassemble it. And then it doesn't even fit in the same type of backpack that Tyler supposedly had. And there's just no way he would have had time from when the gunshot went off to disassemble it, jump off the roof, then reassemble it and put it in the woods. So we'll play this video for you guys so you can see.
On this episode of You Might Be a Dumb Motherfucker, this is my rifle. It takes two different tools to take it apart. It takes a Torx key and an Allen key. Now, if I take a shot and immediately disassemble this, I have to remove the bolt, remove the magazine, grab my Allen key, hit the two bolts on the bottom, put those away in the Allen key, grab my Torx key, remove the scope, put everything in the backpack, make sure I have everything,
obviously.
and make my way downtown.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, which is going to take a lot longer for him than it is for me, especially because his fine-tuned motor function, something as simple as grabbing an Allen key to a little bolt, is going to be extremely impaired due to a dump of adrenaline throughout his bloodstream. An extreme elevated
Joe
heart
Rogan
rate is going to
also
make these
showed this video on
fine-tuned
his
skills
show.
extremely difficult.
Yeah,
And just for
Joe
him
Rogan
to think
showed
and
this
analyze
exact
of what
video.
needs to be done to disassemble this rifle and get away would be difficult. We're not even going to touch the topic of him assembling the rifle on top of the roof, which if you reassemble a rifle and you take
We're
a
at
cold dead
40
shot, it's not going to
seconds.
be 100% accurate. Okay, or the fact that he disassembled this after taking a shot, which the rifle's going to be hot and they found no gloves. There's just so many inconsistencies. It just makes zero sense. I mean, I'm still working on this and I have taken this rifle apart 1,000 times. And now he has to put the pieces of the rifle into a backpack. And this is a gigantic backpack. Shout out Wolfpack, best backpacks on the fucking planet. Anyways,
His
as you
facial
can see,
expressions.
this barrel, broken down, does not fit in this backpack.
He would have
This is a
had
big
no
board,
time to
way
do
bigger
this.
than the one that he was carrying. Okay, I put the rifle stock in here, and guess what? It doesn't fit. It sticks out. Now let's just say, for sake of argument, that he put these in his pant leg and he was walking. These are still so long broken down that he would not be able to walk straight. He wouldn't be able to
elevator
bend
music.
his legs. Doesn't make fucking sense.
So just to clarify, that took him about a minute, right?
Yeah, it's like the shot was taken and then everyone's panicking and there's a video of this guy just running across the roof. It's not a minute after. Like it's like
not
he did not
the
have
professionals one singular minute after.
He didn't have time to do this. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I just,
No one had time. If he doesn't have time, not even it's so staged that it's insane.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so then after this, then Tyler supposedly texts his boyfriend / roommate Lance Twigs, who's a transgender furry. If you don't know what a furry is, you should look it up.
I didn't even know until this very moment that he's a furry.
Yeah, which is like, I'm not too familiar with it, but I just know it's like
The costumes?
It's like a sexual fetish. Back to Lance. So it's weird to me that Tyler texted Lance every single detail about the crime that he supposedly committed. And we're going to bring up the text messages right now. It honestly sounded like the feds like asked ChatGPT to write these text messages, but instead of like making the prompt about two lovers texting that are in their 20s, ChatGPT accidentally made it sound like they're two lovers from the 1920s. Like saying things like, my love, and a little while longer yet, and there's one vehicle lingering. Like, first of all, do you know any Gen Z, like, guys that would text like that? Like,
I don't even know millennials. I don't know Gen X's.
we looked up, like Candace, like, look up vehicle in your phone. Have you ever texted the word vehicle? You guys should do it, too. It's
You
like,
should look it
when
up.
I look up vehicle on my phone, it's like from the DMV, like, oh, your vehicle, like, motor, like, you know what I mean?
Like you can look up when you texted a specific word. I do it all the time. It's very helpful. If you guys don't do that,
Yeah.
definitely do it.
Why?
Why did I do it?
Yeah.
I had enough of his hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out. If I am able to grab my rifle unseen, I will have left no evidence. I will have left no evidence.
I'm wishing I had circled back and grabbed it as soon as I got my vehicle. I'm worried what my old man would do if I didn't bring back my grandpa's rifle. I don't know if it had a serial number, but it wouldn't trace to me.
Sorry, wait,
What do you mean it
pause.
wouldn't trace to you?
I don't know if it had a serial number. Is that really what we're thinking about right now? Or is that FBI fabricated texts? Like, I don't even know if it had a serial number.
I don't know, but it's like they're going to know whose rifle that belongs to, and they're going to know it's your grandpa's, and they're going to go, I don't think the grandpa did it, so it was probably Tyler. But he said, I worry about Prince. I had to leave it in a bush where I changed outfits. Didn't have the ability or time to bring it with. I might have to abandon it and hope they won't find Prince.
Abandoned.
How the fuck will I explain losing it to my old man? That's what you're worried about?
Okay, so this is the equivalent of if, like, I'm a child and I'm going to steal candy from, like, the cabinet, and I know my mom's going to notice that it's gone, and I write a note and leave it in my little brother's room being like, I love candy so much and I'm so glad I stole it, and I really hope my mom doesn't find this note.
Yeah.
And I leave it right on his desk.
It's just like, I'm sorry. Like, this guy's supposed to be really smart. He got like a scholarship to college. Like, you don't type out everything that you just did in a traceable text message. It's like, come on.
Like, overly explain it as well. It's just so insane. Here's the other screenshot. Is there anything we want to mention from this? This is like the last of the texts.
Oh, yeah. And then Tyler says, delete this exchange. Like, bro, just because you delete a text message doesn't mean people can't find it. The feds can search your deleted messages and find it.
I'm thinking back right now to one of the videos that Candace posted about this, and she was like, FBI, do you need our help to convince people of lie? Because it was like, you need our help because this is so bad.
It's so bad. It's clearly so fake.
Yeah.
Let's jump back to immediately after the shooting. So right after Tyler shoots Charlie, George Zinn, who's an older man in the crowd, he starts waving his hands and shouting that he did it.
I did it.
And he's arrested, but he's not the shooter, right? And
Wait, also, wasn't that like literally zero reaction time. Like he starts, like everyone else is like still hunched over, and he immediately is.
And his pants fell down.
He was ready.
Yeah, he did it immediately. And I will tell you why in 1 second. So, but like, first of all, why would you wave your hands in the air if you're not the shooter? And so we have a video of George Zinn.
We don't have the video of him waving his hands in the air.
It's funny because I used to be able to find the video of him waving his hands in the air, but now I can't find it.
Wait, you did? I never saw that.
Oh, I've seen it. Yeah. All the videos that I saw that I tried to clip for this episode were so blurry. And like, it should be like a known video, but it's just like, it's hard to find. So if anyone in the comments like has an actual video of it and they could send the link to it, because I couldn't find like a clear one. But this is a video of him getting arrested and his pants are still down.
How dare you! How dare you! How dare you!
This girl's very mad.
That would have been me if I was there. I would have ran up and punched him probably. Just kidding. But
no, you're not.
I have so many.
I want this
fun
last
facts
part
for
where
you guys.
what the cop says at the very end of this video.
He said he shot him, but I don't know.
He says he shot him, but I don't know, dude.
He kind of cuts himself off, I think.
Well, because he doesn't even have a gun or anything with him. So that makes sense. They're like, I don't know. Like he says he did, but I don't know.
Yeah, they're like, we're detaining him because he says he did it.
And I will tell you why he said that in 1 second. Okay, so after George was arrested, he said that he needed medical attention for chest pain. Then he told law enforcement, nurses, and doctors that he falsely confessed to being the shooter to allow the actual perpetrator to escape and to divert attention from the real suspect. He also stated that he was going to be paid to do this, but he didn't know who he's going to get paid from. That's weird. And why are we not asking more questions about this? Why is the FBI not looking into who George Zinn was paid by? Why was he a distraction? Who told him to be a distraction? Did Tyler Robinson tell him to be a distraction? I don't think so.
I have a guess. FBI.
I don't know. Allegedly. Everything we're saying is allegedly. We are not claiming anything to be factual in this podcast. So, like, we're just saying what the theories are online. Okay. So, these are some fun facts about George Zinn. So, the police found child pornography on his phone. So George Zinn was arrested for sending a threatening email to the organizers of the 2013 Salt Lake City Marathon days after the Boston Marathon bombing. He was sentenced to 1 year in prison for this offense. Okay, so another fun fact about George Zinn, he was among 5 protesters arrested during a violent clash at a Utah Inland Port Authority board meeting in 2019. And then this is a fact that we can watch this.
Calls for civility tonight following this violent protest over the inland port. Now, protesters clashing with police inside Salt Lake's Chamber of Commerce.
He's been around stuff, but this is the last fun fact I have, which is not, I've heard this. I don't have an article to prove it to be true, but according to some people online, he was also allegedly present during 9/11. Allegedly, we don't know this for a fact.
Well, he talks about it in a podcast, and I think Candace showed it on one of her episodes. No, it was Ian.
Ian Carroll?
Ian Carroll, I believe. Anyway, someone that is
maybe
a
not
political
Ian.
commentator.
Sorry, Ian, if it wasn't you, but multiple people have talked about how he was present during 9/11, and he's been present during a lot of different political events. I believe, I could be wrong, but he was at, I forgot what president it was, like their funeral or something. Basically, he's involved in politics heavily and goes to events. And so for him to be at Charlie Kirk's assassination and for him to be a decoy, it's not random. Someone told him to do this. He even said in his own words, someone paid him to do this. Why is no one talking about this? Why is this not a main part of the investigation? It makes no sense.
Dang, I wish I could remember who did that podcast. It was George Zinn on a podcast, and he's talking about his life, and he's LDS, and he did he did a Mormon missionary.
Oh, yeah. I remember listening to part of it.
Missionary.
He did a mission in
Virginia.
which is near Washington, D.C.
We did that with practicing. We did that without practicing. Okay. I can't remember if it was Ian, Barron, Candace, one of the awesome people. Anyway.
But also, I forgot what podcast. We listen to so many podcasts. I forgot who, but the CIA loves Mormons because they go to different countries. They learn different languages.
Supposedly.
Yeah.
Hey, wait, is this like a proven fact already?
I think so. But we'll just say
CIA.
allegedly. We'll say
Okay,
allegedly
yeah.
so we don't get in trouble. This is what I think the CIA does. And they find really smart people in high school. And I also have a conspiracy theory that the standardized testings that we do in
Candace's
school.
theory. She just talked about it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. And I agree with this. Candace Owens, I think, brought this up. Yeah, she absolutely did. Standardized testing is because you don't get graded on it. It doesn't affect your grade. It just goes to whoever.
The government.
And I think they like search out for really smart people and they go, oh,
Keep an eye on
person,
them.
We could use them.
And that podcast, by the way, whoever was the person that released it, it's nowhere to be found now.
I know. And I watched part of it.
Yeah.
And I think it's like gone now.
It is gone. 100%. You can't find it unless you figure out who the person that made that.
Whoever's in charge of the internet, just stop it. Stop deleting
Stop
shit.
it.
Okay. We've already seen it. Just stop. All right. So let's jump back to Tyler. So according to the feds, Tyler changes from the maroon shirt and tan shorts into a dark shirt and dark jeans. These photos are publicly published online. We have them up here right on now on the video. I just don't think that the maroon shirt guy and this guy in the black shirt are the same person.
So what's funny is I have 5 photos that they released to the public on help us find this guy. The only ones that are clear-ish are when his face is down. And I'm thinking
it's like what? Like, I'm sorry, we live in, this is 2025. There's no clear video. Then they don't even release a video. It's only these blurry images.
yeah. And look, this one's super clear where it's his neck
Yeah.
because it's someone that's not Tyler Robinson that maybe has a slightly similar build and hair color and haircut.
It's so weird. So now we have 4 subjects, right? We have the maroon shirt guy, the rooftop runner guy, George Zinn, and then this guy with the dark shirt and dark jeans. Some could be the same people, maybe not. I don't think any of them are the same people. I think they're all decoys, but that's just my opinion. I think all the guys in the black shirt are the same person, but I don't think the maroon shirt guy and the guy running off the roof and this guy are the same person. I think they're all separate people.
Absolutely not. This photo where he's actually looking up is so much blurrier than the other ones. And now this photo is so clear. I'm sorry, was there not any instance of him walking up that stairwell where his face was up?
I'm sure this was a video and they took screenshots of it. It's like, why not just release the video?
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense. Okay, so now let's jump forward a few hours. This is the same day, 6:38 p.m. So there's a photo of Tyler Robinson at Dairy Queen wearing the maroon shirt but dark jeans. So he only changed half of his outfit despite the text to Lance saying that he changed his outfit completely. So after committing his first murder ever, he decides to go to Dairy Queen. Like, how are you hungry, dude?
And sorry, wait, 6:38 p.m. this photo is taken?
Yes.
The assassination was at
12:23 p.m.
12:23 p.m.
Yeah.
So he goes to Dairy Queen 6 hours later. And let's be clear, Brandy and I live in Salt Lake City. UVU is about an hour south of us. Tyler Robinson's home is about 4 hours south of UVU.
In St. George.
St. George, yeah.
But like him being at Dairy Queen, it's just like, how are you even hungry? I would never kill someone, but like I can't, like if you did, like I feel like you would have so much anxiety. You wouldn't be, the last thing you'd be thinking about is food. Like,
yeah.
Okay. Well, then per Candace Owens, she discovered this. So Tyler was then seen discarding clothes in a nearby cemetery, which is weird.
Wait, did she have proof of that? Or was it one of those like, hey, I have a source and I'm not going to disclose who it is?
I think it was a source thing because there's no videos of it or anything. But I don't think anyone has denied those claims.
No one ever denies Candace's claims. Or they do, but then they don't.
They're like, she's lying. She's evil. But it's like, but do you have information to...
She didn't even know Charlie.
Do you have any information to back this up? No. Okay. So, but then Tyler's parents apparently recognized him from photos online and told him to come home. And then Tyler's dad called a family friend to come over. And he is a retired sheriff's deputy or something. And then they both supposedly convinced Tyler to turn himself in.
This is according to the media.
Yes.
This is according to what everyone knows if they've been keeping up.
Yes, this is what the media told us. But then when Tyler turned himself in, he was reportedly wearing the same original outfit, the tan shorts and the maroon shirt. So, like, why did he change his outfit so many times? It just doesn't make...
The one from the like when he's walking in front of the neighborhood houses?
The tan shorts and the maroon shirt.
Yeah, because that makes sense.
Like, why? I just don't know why you would change your clothes back into what you were wearing when you first walked into campus, especially if you changed your outfit from the dark jeans and the dark shirt, and then you take off the dark shirt and then put on the maroon shirt to go into Dairy Queen. Like, why are you changing your shirt so often? Like, I don't get it. And apparently Tyler Robinson was a very clean, like tidy, like the freakily tidy person. So people were like, that knew him were like, that doesn't make any sense, like for him to wear the same outfit and stuff and like not shower. But again, I don't know.
I do.
But
no, like the FBI or CIA, whoever's FBI, yeah, they're just messing up. They have too many. Maybe they have 3 or 4 people in charge of putting the information out there to convince everyone, and someone fucked up.
Yeah, clearly. So according to Candace Owens, who spoke with Lance's family directly, and Lance, like I said, is Tyler's boyfriend / roommate, the transgender furry. Candace has been speaking to his parents, and his parents said that the feds told Tyler to turn himself in. The feds told Tyler to turn himself in. He didn't want to do it. They told him to turn himself in to avoid an aggressive and possibly life-threatening raid, and then instructed the family to not speak to the media to protect their lives.
And think about it from your own perspective. If the feds show up on your door, and the feds, I mean the fucking FBI, you only see those guys on TV and now they're in front of your face. And they're like, hey, buddy, you might want to do what I say. Trust me, bro.
You don't want us knocking down your door and accidentally killing you so you can't say anything, right?
Yeah. By the way, we're going to tell the media that your dad called us.
And we'll get into why Tyler hasn't said anything since, but we'll talk about that later. Okay, so now let's go to September 16th. So on this day, formal charges were filed, including aggravated murder, felony discharge of a firearm causing serious bodily injury, 2 counts of obstruction of justice, 2 counts of witness tampering, and committing a violent offense in the presence of a child. So those are all the charges online. And the prosecutors from Utah County Attorney's Office announced that their intent is to seek the death penalty in this case. And Tyler Robinson is being held without bail at the Utah County Jail. And authorities say that he has not cooperated, aka he has not confessed. So apparently he said that he did it to his parents and then turned himself in. But then then when he gets arrested, he has not said anything. Okay, so this is really bizarre in my opinion. So let's go back to like the court case now, or let's like hone in on this. So the judge in this case is Judge Tony Graff. And this is really weird. He was only sworn in a little over 2 months ago. And he enforced one of the strictest gag orders as well. But it's like, wouldn't you have a really seasoned judge on this? Like, this is like the biggest like public assassination probably since JFK. And so wouldn't you have like a very like, good seasoned judge on this case, not someone that became a judge 2 months ago. Like, unless this guy was placed in this position for a reason. He made this statement, and I quote, "Regardless of who is watching, whether it is the nation or a single individual, we must fulfill our roles with integrity, civility, and diligence. I encourage each of you to give your very best to this case. Neither Mr. Robinson nor the people of Utah deserve anything less than the fair and impartial administration of justice." And he mentions the word integrity, right? Well, the integrity of the crime scene would have been a good start. Maybe not, cementing over the crime scene on Sunday when the murder happened on Wednesday.
Yeah, explain that a bit more for the people who don't already know that.
Yeah, so Charlie got shot on Wednesday. Then on Sunday, they completely paved over the entire area that Charlie Kirk was shot at. And they tried to say, oh, well, this was already scheduled. Like, we already had this construction, in the books. Candace, on one of her recent episodes, showed that some text messages that proved that wasn't true, that people were like, no, let's get this done as quickly as possible. Let's do this job. It was not planned before, but even if it was, it's a crime scene. Postpone your reconstruction of the school in Utah because a political figure was just assassinated there. Pause the construction. We need to investigate this crime scene. That is weird. That makes no sense. Also, he mentions, like I said, integrity. Why don't you do an autopsy? Why don't you release it to the public? Why is there no ballistic?
So easy.
Why is there no ballistic information? Why is there no more footage being released? So you want to talk about integrity? Why don't you show some integrity and give us some more information? I mean, the list just goes on and on.
Going back to the FBI being replaced, this special agent in charge of the FBI's Salt Lake City field, also known as the SAC, Matab Syed. Okay, so she was placed in charge in May, and then she was forced out in early August. And we already know.
We don't know now, but we know.
that this was planned out in advance. She was forced out in August 2025. She was replaced with Robert Bowles, Bohls. And he was SAC by the time of September 10th, 11th press briefings.
Okay, so now let's jump to October 27th, where the judge ruled the following. The media are not allowed to photograph or film Tyler in his restraints, and they are prohibited from showing him entering or leaving the courtroom where they might capture him in shackles. And there is no final decision yet on whether cameras, video, or photography will be allowed in future proceedings for the case. I think that's so weird. There should absolutely be allowed to have video and photographs taken. This is the biggest thing to happen in our lifetime. It's the people that are working on the case aren't allowed to say anything. But that's not this is not part of the gag order because the judge hasn't decided yet. It's still up in limbo if they're going to allow videos and photography being taken in the trial. Like the Johnny Depp Amber Heard, it was all videoed. They made a Netflix documentary about it, right? So people, us, the public, we want to see the videos. We want to see it for ourselves. We want to hear Tyler Robinson explain his side of the story. But the feds, in my opinion, are trying to be nope, no videos, no photography. We're just going to tell the public what's going on. We're not going to let them see it for themselves. And sorry, no.
As they have been.
We don't believe anything you guys say. Nothing. It doesn't matter who's the president. It's always not the full truth. And we want to know what happened to him and we want to hear it for ourselves. And so if they do that, it's just really messed up, in my opinion, to be honest with you. So Tyler's next in-person court appearances are scheduled for January 16th, and then another on January 30th in the Utah court system. Okay, so circling back to Lance Twigs. Lance is Tyler's 22-year-old transgender furry boyfriend / roommate. And Tyler and Lance lived together in St. George, Utah, which is about 4.5 hours south of Salt Lake City, in a house that's owned by Lance's parents. And according to Candace Owens, who has been in contact with Lance's parents, they told her that they got many complaints days before leading up to Charlie Kirk's assassination, that there were many cars parked outside of their residence, like all throughout the street, just like a weird amount of traffic where the neighbors were calling like Lance's parents being like, what's going on? They don't typically have a bunch of people at their house. So I don't know. But also this is really interesting. So according to Lance's parents, Lance and Tyler's place was raided by the feds and their locks were illegally changed because you can't just change the locks in a house. So either the locks were changed by Lance or they were changed by the feds.
One or the other.
Yeah. And now this is even weirder. Lance is nowhere to be found. Maybe he's in the witness protection program, but I have some questions. Like, first of all, why did the police let him go? He apparently knew about Tyler engraving the bullets. Like, we read it in the text messages. So you don't just engrave bullets for fun. That's red flag number one. Okay. Then they lived together.
Wait, so the police let him go after like an hour of questioning him, right?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Mm-hmm. They're like, he was so cooperative. Like, we let him go. Now he's just gone. He's just gone.
Shock.
And then the fact that there were so many people at their house days up leading to the event, like, could other people be involved? Maybe even people we wouldn't expect. I don't know. Which brings us to our next theory. Was the Israeli government involved? We are not saying that they are. I want to make that clear. We are not saying that they're involved, okay? We are only trying to expose all of the theories circulating online. Candace Owens, she thinks that the story's incomplete or staged and that it's most likely a military hit. So let's talk about the Israeli Prime Minister, Mr. Benjamin Netanyahu. We're going to refer to him as Bibi. Bibi, he let the public know multiple times that Israel had nothing to do with Charlie Kirk's assassination. And he said this very, very quickly after this happened. And I find that odd because no one said anything about Israel right away. Like at that time, no one thought anything about Israel. So honestly, Bibi made us question Israel because of the way he reacted to this. It's like, you don't come like, we had nothing to do with it. Like, why would you say
like
that?
2 minutes after he was assassinated?
Like, why would you say that if you weren't involved? It just doesn't really make any sense. So then Bibi explains that he invited Charlie to Israel weeks before his death. And then he released a letter to the public where Charlie wrote his love for Israel. But mind you, this letter was written on May 2nd of this year. And then guess what? Charlie turned down Bibi's invitation to Israel. I wonder why. This is when Charlie was still in the pro-Israel
phase
camp,
of his life.
Yes,
camp.
The phase of his
I
life.
Like that.
Yeah, in the pro-Israel camp still. Okay, but then he invited him to Israel, and then he said no. Let's jump back to July 11th. Okay, so Tucker Carlson spoke about Israel during a speech at the Turning Point USA Student Action Summit in Tampa, Florida. So Tucker, during his speech, said that Jeffrey Epstein may have worked for the Mossad, which is Israel's Institute for Intelligence and Special Operations. It's kind of like their CIA. And Tucker said, no one is allowed to say that foreign government's Israel. also crazy, the other day, Megyn Kelly released a video that she had of her talking to Tucker Carlson backstage at this event. And Charlie came up to both of them and briefly just told Tucker, and he said, "Go Max." Like, go Max, because Tucker has said before previously that, oh, I didn't want to really talk about Israel because like I didn't want Charlie to lose any donors or anything. And Charlie just said, "Nope, go Max, like go for it."
That's all he said. Go Max.
Yeah, in the video.
Tucker knew what that meant.
Turning Point events, they last a few days. Like AmFest is usually Thursday to Sunday. Like they're long events because they have so many speakers, right? So Tucker was on July 11th. Then on July 13th, at the same TPUSA event, Dave Smith and Josh Hammer had a debate about Israel on stage, and Charlie was the mediator of this debate. So both Dave Smith, who is an American comedian, podcaster, and political commentator, and Josh Hammer, who is an American conservative political commentator, attorney, and columnist, are Jewish. So they're both Jews. Dave Smith is not pro-Israeli government. But then Josh Hammer is pro-Israeli everything. Everything. Literally everything. And if you watch the debate and you read stuff online, like pretty much everyone thought that Dave Smith like crushed Josh Hammer in this debate.
Also, did you guys know Josh Hammer has a book and it's for sale and you can buy it?
He mentions his book every
5
single time he is on any interview. And Charlie's Israeli donors did not like the fact that he hosted Tucker Carlson and that Dave Smith won the debate. They were not happy about this.
But also, if you watch the debate too, it's pretty clear that Charlie's views are changing from an outsider perspective who doesn't know, like they don't see his internal text messages. They don't see like what's going on in his brain. It's pretty clear. He's like, "Okay, Josh, be quiet."
Well, to be fair, he gave them both equal time.
Did he?
Oh, 1000%. Yeah. And like he talks about this. Like he let Dave Smith talk and he would tell Dave to stop talking if he was interrupting Josh, but Josh was interrupting more and he'd be like, "Josh, let Dave speak." He was just the mediator. He just wanted them to have a civil debate about Israel, and he was very neutral the whole time. And so his Israeli donors were just mad because Dave Smith brought up way more relevant points than Josh Hammer did.
When I recall watching this, I don't remember him being necessarily neutral. Like when Dave would talk about something, I slightly remember Charlie being like, "Dave, talk about that more."
Because he told Tucker to go Max, right?
Yeah.
And then he's probably agreeing with Dave's points. Like, "Okay, Josh, let him talk. Okay, let's let Josh talk." But I'm sure in the back of his mind, he was like, Dave's making more sense. I don't know. So now let's jump to August 4th through the 5th. This is when Charlie attended a private event in the Hamptons hosted by billionaire investor Bill Ackman. So this event in the Hamptons, right, it was organized to discuss strategies for strengthening Israel's image among young Americans in social media. And so this meeting was reportedly contentious, with some attendees criticizing Charlie for his recent criticisms of Israeli influence in Washington, D.C., and sources suggest that Charlie left the event feeling pressured and even feeling threatened. And after the Hamptons meeting, Charlie expressed on multiple platforms, specifically on Megyn Kelly's show, that he felt like he was being bullied by Israel. And so Charlie Kirk went on Megyn Kelly's show on August 6th, where he explains his feelings about the way Israel donors have been treating him. So let's watch that clip.
Now, let me first say, I don't want to judge an entire group because there's been many people in the pro-Israel world that have been very sweet, very kind, very nuanced, very Charlie, you were with us, you don't have to agree all the time. However, and I will say this, the behavior by a lot, both privately and publicly, are pushing people like you and me away. Not like we're going to be pro-Hamas, not like we're going to, but we're like, honestly, The way you are treating me is so repulsive. I have text messages, Megan, calling me an anti-Semite. I have less ability sometimes online to criticize the Israeli government without backlash than actual Israelis do.
And that's really weird, Megan. That was Charlie on Megyn Kelly's show on August 6th. And now we also want to play an older clip from when Charlie was a guest on the PBD podcast, which is the Patrick Bet David podcast, where he expressed his thoughts on Israel in October 7th. So we're going to watch that together as well.
How did these guys not know this was taking place?
So I've been to Israel many times. The whole country's a fortress. When I first heard this story, I still had the same gut instinct that I did initially. I find this very hard to believe. I've been to that Gaza border. You cannot go 10 feet without running into a 19-year-old with an AR-15 or an automatic machine gun that's an IDF soldier, right? The whole country is surveilled.
Wait, pause. Okay, so isn't it crazy that everyone, females, males, everyone, once they reach a certain age in Israel, they have to go to the military? Mm-hmm. That's insane to me. Okay.
Let me just kind of go through this. We don't talk about Israeli politics very often, and most Americans don't know this. The last 9 months, Israel is on the brink of civil war. It's not an exaggeration. This judicial stuff, there were hundreds of thousands of Israelis taking to the streets because Bibi Netanyahu was basically redefining the Israeli constitution. That's not an exaggeration, right? He said the judicial branch has too much power. There were protests planned this week against Netanyahu, where they anticipated tens of thousands of people to take to the streets. That's all gone, Patrick. Netanyahu now has an emergency government and a mandate to lead. I'm not willing to go so far that saying that Netanyahu knew or there was intelligence here, but I think some questions need to be asked. Was there a stand down order?
Charlie is asking is very, very valid. Was there a stand down order? Because, like he said, they were on the brink of a civil war. Benjamin Netanyahu was going to be impeached and imprisoned, to my knowledge. And then October 7th just happened. Like, he's like, wow, allegedly, my opinion, maybe he knew it was going to happen. He allowed it to happen so he could do, okay, we're at war now. I have to remain president. That is a valid question.
Because that's a lot, right? Like if a war happens on October 7th, which just so happened, the war happened on October 7th, he remains unimpeached.
Just like Zelensky of Ukraine. They can't do elections right now because they're at war. I don't know. I'm not saying anything about that right now, but I'm just saying it's just funny when presidents are about to get impeached or go to prison that a war just randomly appears and they have to remain in power. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
All right, so now let's jump to September 8th, which is 2 days before Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Okay, so Charlie Kirk sent text messages in a group chat expressing his intention to leave the pro-Israel cause. And these messages were shared publicly by Candace Owens on October 6th. And everyone thought that she made them up, like everyone did. And then the next day, Andrew Colvett confirmed that they were true. But even prominent Jewish public figures like Josh Hammer said that Charlie, in quotes, never flinched from the pro-Israel cause.
Which is insane because we just showed you so much footage of him flinching.
Yeah.
And now we're showing you these texts which were confirmed by Andrew Colvett.
Yeah.
And so many people. And remember the name Rob McCoy because he is in this text thread and that is confirmed. And he has not commented at all
on the text messages.
On the text messages.
But it's interesting because apparently, per Baron Coleman, I haven't seen this, but I haven't researched it enough. Baron said that Andrew was the one who leaked these text messages to the feds because he thought they would be relevant to the investigation. Why would it be relevant to the investigation? Unless he thought maybe Israel was involved? And so we have the text messages pulled up on screen, and you can clearly see that Charlie is saying that he won't cancel Tucker Carlson, and he's thinking of bringing Candace Owens to the next event.
And the people who are responding to Charlie are blacked out because Candace is trying to protect their privacy.
Basically, Charlie's just saying he's not going to be bullied and literally states he has no choice but to leave the pro-Israel cause.
2 days.
2 days before. Is that
2 days?
Kind of weird. Okay. So why lie and try to cover up Charlie's true feelings for Israel, Josh Hammer? Why are you trying to cover this shit up? Why? We have text messages. You all lied. You literally lied.
You saw those text messages. You were there.
Okay, so now we're going to go to the next day, which is September 9th. Okay. Candace Owens said that 3 different people shared something with her the day before Charlie died. He told all 3 of these people, I think they're going to kill me. He said that. I think they're going to kill me. Okay. The day before he died. 2 of her sources have this in writing, and one of her sources is a TPUSA donor. And a little fun fact, I mean, let's just pause right there. Okay. He texted people, I think they're going to kill me. That's crazy. I don't think he was referring to Tyler Robinson. I don't think he's referring to transgender furries. Who is he referring to? Who would he be referring to? We don't know. I'm asking you. You can leave a comment. Allegedly, Billy.
Israel?
Maybe. We don't know. We're just asking questions. We don't know. It just seems a little weird to me. It all kind of lines up that maybe what Billy said could be a possibility. I don't know. We're just laying out the facts for you guys. Then Josh Hammer retweeted an old tweet. Well, now it's called X, so whatever. But he retweeted, I'm just going to call it a tweet, from Donald Trump back from 2013. And in this tweet, Donald Trump said, should be a public execution for all to see. You will end this bullshit fast. And Josh Hammer retweeted that and put based, which means factual. Why would he retweet that out of nowhere? He had to look up this tweet from 2013 and
what was that
repost
tweet even
it.
About?
I don't even know, but the fact that he retweeted that the day before Charlie got publicly executed is weird, guys. It's weird. It doesn't make any sense.
The word weird is losing its meaning after this.
It's insane. I don't know.
It's proof.
Okay. Yeah. Allegedly.
Maybe.
All right. But yeah, it's kind of a weird ass tweet to post from 2013 out of nowhere the day before Charlie was publicly executed. I mean, I think we can all agree it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
So we want to end on this final discovery that Candace Owens addressed that's quite shocking, but not surprising based off everything that we've uncovered. So we now know, per Candace Owens, this is crazy, that 12 Israeli cell phones were geotracked at the UVU campus on September 10th, which is the day that Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Literally, they were there. It's not like, oh, maybe they're Jewish. No, these phone lines were created in Israel, and they were randomly in Orem, Utah at UVU at Charlie Kirk's event. 12. Why? Oh, maybe there were 12 Israeli foreign exchange students. Probably not. If you are an Israeli exchange student and you go to UVU, let us know. Were you one of the 12? I don't think so.
Candace Owens is tracking all 12 of them down too. She's like, okay, so we have footage from this person. The person to their left was speaking in a strong Israeli accent. She's tracking them down.
Good. And we'll cover it.
Yeah.
But we're going to play this clip from Candace explaining this.
Ladies and gentlemen, there were, for whatever reason, 12 Israeli cell phones on the ground at Utah Valley University the day that Charlie Kirk was assassinated. This has completely spooked the people that are very high up in government. Now, to be clear, I don't mean that there were 12 VPNs that were switched and routed through Israel on that day. I mean that there were 12 personal cell phone accounts that were opened in Israel, okay? Like you go into Verizon in Tennessee or in Connecticut and you open your phone. I am saying that they opened their phones in Israel, those accounts in Israel, and they were on the ground on September 10th at Utah Valley University when Charlie was shot. Now, the NSA knows this. Kash Patel knows this. People in the current administration know this, and they are desperate for some reason to stop that information from being released to the public. Why?
So the big question is, why is this not being discussed? Why is this not public information? Why is this not part of the investigation? It's just something to think about, right? Before we come to our little conclusion, I didn't think we could do this because I didn't think we were going to get this many subscribers this quickly, but we want to read some comments from our last episode because we think that'd be fun.
That's what all the people do.
I know. Our first comment we're going to read is from Orani222, which says, June 18th is the day that TPUSA submitted the paperwork for the Charlie Kirk event on September 10th. June 20th, which is a Sunday, is the day that UVU approved the TPUSA event. Then all these searches. What? So thank you for your comment. We will be addressing this in our next episode. So stay tuned. We're going to talk about this quick approval and other things regarding TPUSA. So the next episode, we'll get into that. And then you want to read the next comment?
Yeah. And the next comment is from Quantum Timelines 2846, which says, how could this be your first video with all the camera angles and all the clips you show? It's just amazing. It seems professionally done. Are you both in the media? Did you hire a producer? So, well, we do have an editor. We have credited him in our previous video. We'll credit him in this video as well. Thank you, Anton, so much. And in addition to that, I did TikTok for a couple years doing brand deals and stuff prior to this.
You have experience doing like media stuff. I have no experience. What I bring to the table is my political knowledge. Billy's good with the cameras, with the editing, with the lighting and all that stuff. But no, we do not work in media. We both work corporate jobs. Like we just do this late nights and running on no sleep. And it's so fun. It's so worth it. And like, this is my passion in life and like politics and what's going on in the world and exposing the truth. And so we just do this for fun and we're kind of just winging it as we go. So if it kind of looks unprofessional or weird at some point, it's because we're learning.
Yeah.
So,
and also for the record, our first video, it took 3 weeks from the time that we filmed it to the time that we released it. Hopefully this one is faster.
We're trying to like, film on Thursdays, release on Mondays. Like we're going to try to get into the groove of things, but yeah, we're learning. So just be patient with us. All right. So we're going to read another comment from World Star, who said, how do VPNs affect Google Trends searches? Now that's a great question. We've actually been chatting with Baron Coleman, which is really, really fucking cool, to be honest with you. And we're going to be asking him more in-depth questions about Google Trends. So hopefully we'll be able to answer that question in our next episode,
which will be released one Monday from when you see this, maybe.
Yeah.
And then our last comment is from Baron Coleman himself. He said, great show.
Love that. That's all you needed to say.
Thank you. Honestly, I was so excited. We were both so excited when Baron
I was literally like dancing, so excited. And then the compliments he gave us on his video, I like cried of happiness. Literally, I was like, this is so cool. Yeah. It's just nice to be like appreciated because we spend a lot of time and a lot of hard work.
And also we're huge fans of Baron.
Yeah, I mean, he's so intelligent and the stuff that his videos are amazing. I'm sure a lot of you came from Baron's podcast, but if you don't know who that is, look up Baron Coleman. He does amazing work.
And Baron and I are both from Indiana, so I feel like
we
connected.
Have a connection there. Also, we love Candace Owens and Ian Carroll. They're huge inspirations to us too. But we're going to continue to work hard and gather as much information as we can for you guys. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this episode of the Brandy and Billy Show.
And we'll see you next week. Oh, first take. Let's go.